Aloha Big Wave Trading family. It's halftime during the football game, so I want to go ahead and go over the new long positions, but then go over one stock in particular that I know a few people are long and have questions about the stops. And following today's session, I think it's a good idea to just quickly review how I look at stops. So first, let's go over the new long positions. Tesla, iRobot, and Kala are all brand new long positions. I want you to focus on these longer term charts. Tesla, iRobot, and Kala. Do you notice how they all look the exact same? All of them are bouncing off their 50-day moving averages within a long-term uptrend. All of these stocks are giving very high quality long signals in terms of limited inherent risk to total potential reward if this market trends higher. Tesla, iRobot, and Kala all came from my perfect speculator scans. There are 4 different kind of perfect speculator scans that I run. The scans were built based on the criteria from the Brad Kotishwar book. Wow, I cannot speak tonight. Called The Perfect Speculator. We created a scan based on that book, and I have adjusted it to catch stocks ahead of time that come into it. So for instance, it looks for stocks that are already up 100% for the past 52 weeks. So in one scan, I have it to where it looks for stocks up only 75%, trying to get it ahead of time. The other scan is the criteria is supposed to look for stocks over $50. So in another scan, I have any stock over $40. But then at the same time, on the complete opposite end, I also have a scan that looks for stocks any price. And that's where Kala comes from. That's where the DWCH long signal came from, and that's where the ENZ long signal came from. So Kala is doing the same similar thing. So they're all perfect speculator stock scans. Tesla is a semi-CAN-SLIM quality stock because of its sales growth, its big cap status, and the way the institutions love it. iRobot is a semi-CAN-SLIM stock. Right now its earnings is on a downswing, but overall the stock is a CAN-SLIM quality stock. So since they're both semi-CAN-SLIM quality and perfect speculator, they're both 3% long positions, with Tesla getting an extra 1% due to it also being in my most high price stock scans. It looks for any stock over $100 that trades on average, I can't remember, but I believe it was 500,000 shares per day. Might be a million. Either way, Tesla passes no matter what that volume requirement was that I cannot remember offhand. But really quick, Tesla, 4% of my account capital. Limit order at the high day, 352.48, since it is not extended from its 20-day moving average. I do not have 4% of my account capital left to put in the stock, but if you do, the first cut loss should be right here. 341.56, a move below 351.56, 341.56, excuse me, you're out of half. A move below 331.85, you're out of all of it. My first cut loss, though, is going to be right here, 338.75, then 331.85, since I can't get a full 4% position. And then with iRobot, also, it's not extended, so your first cut loss level is right here, 93.38. Your final cut loss level is right here, 90.11. Me personally, once again, since I can't get a full recommended position, it's supposed to be 3%. My first cut loss level is going to be a little bit deeper at 92.91. Final cut loss still at 90.11. Limit order at the high of the day, 96.58, since it is not extended from its 20-day moving average. Now, Kala, even though it is right on top of the 50-day moving average, and even though it's within the mid-range of this very nice consolidation cup-like pattern it's forming, if you look shorter term, it is a little extended. It's extended from its 20-day moving average, but at least it's touching the 5 and 10, so it's not extremely extended. And if a stock is extended from its 20, but it's touching the 5, 10, and 50, it's technically not that extended, but still, I do not want to use the high of the day, just want to use the close. Limit order 1675. First cut loss level, 1455. Excuse me, 1555. Final cut loss level, 1465. The low of day of the 822 gap up open low of day. So Kala, with it being just a perfect speculator scan quality stock, not confirmed anywhere else, should have been 2%, but with it being extended from the 20-day moving average, it's only going to be 1% of account capital allocated to the position. But once again, I cannot get a full position because I'm heavily invested and only a few stops triggered today, as today was a very successful day for my personal holdings. As you can see, we had two 20% extremely overbought sell signals. APPFs, RSI 14 finally triggered over 80, and ITCI, which I was unable to get a position in. The new long signal was here. It was already extended, so it wouldn't even matter if it was the high day at 1603. The low day the next day was only 1645. So it's impossible, even if I use the high day, to get a position. The only way I could have, if I would use the high of the day of this, and there's just no way I would with it being extended for 20 moving average. So it moved without me. But if you happen to get long the next day at a market order and you got long at the open here, you need to at least take 20% off the table, like I am with APPF, which is a 42% gain. ITCI is a 38% gain. Now for the stock I want to go over, JASO, I got a few questions today, and what's funny is that one of the subscribers asked me, is the first stop supposed to be 619? And I was like, no. Why would it be 619? It's 646. Not realizing that last night I didn't adjust my stop higher. So what's really funny is that whenever I went to look at it on my Interactive Brokers platform, I have it in both accounts, cash and margin. Both stops were set at 1619 and 603. 1 cent below 604. 1 cent below the 620 low a day. Ha ha ha. Joke was on me. My apologies. After further review, the stock issued a 20% extremely overbought RSI 14 profit taking signal at the close of Wednesday session. So this morning, Thursday morning, as I'm making this video during the halftime of the football game, I sold 20%. As the day went along, the stock was up almost 5%, maybe was up 5%. I'm not really good at doing the math in my head to 762. But either way, it looked like it was going to be another big up day. And if that's the case, I would have had 3 stops. One just below 674, because it's only 1 cent below 675, so might as well use it. So I would have had 1 stop at 674, and then I would have had 1 stop either at 619 or 646, couldn't quite decide, probably, and then 603. But since it did not close at the high of the day, and it had quite a big intraday reversal, even though it was up on the session, and BOP moved higher to max green BOP, I want to tighten all my stops up. So now there is no confusion where I want to put the stops. Each of the areas that I thought about using, I'm using them all. So now on JSO, going into the market on Friday, for everybody that watches this, I will have 4 trailing stops. The first, I've already taken 20% of my profit. So if I had 100 shares, I now only have 80 shares. Now those 80 shares are being split up 20 each at each of these levels. The first level, 674. So the first stop is 673. The next level, 647. So the next stop, 646. The next level, you can either use 620 or 611. Personally, I think I would go ahead and use 619 because I don't think this stock should ever, even on an intraday basis, trade below 619. That was such a bullish engulfing candle on strong volume with BOP confirmation with immediate follow through that I don't think it should be reversed. And then, of course, the final stop, the lowest point where there's green BOP on this chart short term. It's got green BOP back here, but this low is lower, so obviously we use that level, since even if it pulls back on lighter volume the entire way, the uptrend stays true, is 603, an emergency stop. So just in case the stock does intraday decide to cut down through this low, as long as it doesn't break this low, let's say it reverses higher, look at what ALRM did yesterday. So same similar situation. If your stop was right here or right here, you got shaken out a little bit, but then your next stop should have been here. That low a day is 40.96. This low a day is 40.97. What do you know? That support level held. So you only got knocked out a quarter if you used the stop here, 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 and here. Now remember, my long signal was here. It gapped up away from me, so I don't have a position. But if I did, 1 stop would have been here. 1 stop would have been here, here, and then here. I'm still in 3/4 of the position. So that's why on JSO, I want to stop here, here, which is by the 50-day moving average, here, and then an emergency one all the way back here. So that's where my 4 stops are going to be heading into the market open on Friday. All right, everyone, back to the football game. Aloha.